So we're the Ropers, Scott and Jenny. We were married in 2010, so that's 15 years we've been married now. And we have 3 kids, Alistair, who's 10, Ian, who's 8, and Elizabeth, who's 6, and one on the way, due in January.
Started doing the Jesse tree first because one of the kids, they were doing the Jesse tree at their school, and so we took that home with us and we started doing it with the kids at home. And I think that was the first touch point with Advent. Yeah, so it is a series of ornaments that you get for the days in December leading up to Christmas. And each ornament has something to do with the Christmas story, but the Christmas story as told through the entire scope of the scriptures. So there's different Jesse trees. I think ours starts in creation itself. And so you go through a series of readings, and there's usually a short meditation on how Jesus is coming into the world, how this relates to how the scripture reading we just read relates to Jesus' coming. Yeah, so that's one of the main things. We also change how we do family worship in the evening a little bit. So we incorporate the Jesse tree, but before family worship, to kind of transition from dinner time to, okay, now we're going to pray and worship God. The kids light the candles that are on the table. And so for Advent, we take those candles away and we have an Advent wreath that we assemble together, and the kids get to light the appropriate Advent candles for that week of Advent. So that's just the way it's set apart a little bit differently from the rest of the way we worship together as a family is after dinner, we stop what we're doing, and before the kids can go on to dessert or any other activities, we're going to have family worship together. And that seems to keep them contained and keep them here and interested. But we take the prayer, the evening prayer for families, as sort of the base for our prayer, but we add in, as the kids have gotten older, we add in things from the daily office evening prayer. So the scripture reading we use is from the evening lectionary. Right now we're going through Isaiah, one chapter at a time, and we usually say one of the Psalms. We also say the Magnificat after the reading. And something you can do is in the days leading up to Christmas is you can say the various verses of O Come, Emmanuel, because there's actually one's appointed for the days leading up to Christmas. There's an adaptation for the antiphons for the Magnificat. So you can kind of change the Magnificat that way in Advent too. But we add in the sort of the Jesse tree lessons as part of the lessons part of our family prayer. So instead of doing a catechism question, or instead of doing one of the saints' days, we'll do the Jesse tree lessons for that day.
Yeah, that's right. Awesome.
You want me to answer that? That's why you're looking at me. I think when they were smaller, we had to be more realistic, so we didn't have so many parts and pieces and what our expectations are. I think we've kind of learned that the expectation is that they stay in their chair and that they're quiet. And at first we had more fidget toys for them to have that they could kind of fidget with during family prayer, and we had kind of a few different devices to try to help them when they were young. I think as they're getting older, they don't need as much of that. So I think often they're now able to sit fairly quietly through most of it. Elizabeth, who's 6, is still the one that we work with and sits next to one of us, and we try to help.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as they've gotten older, we can add more of those elements that we talked about in. So the actual family evening prayer is pretty short, and so that's a good kind of starting place. And then you can add in a psalm or a longer reading as the kids get older and are able to handle it. Also, for shorter readings now, especially the kids can read those on their own. So we might have the kids do a reading every once in a while so that they can participate that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say start small, right? So you can start with the family prayer. Make it a priority. So don't let other things interfere with it. If you get off and there's a time where you did it for a while and you stop doing it, just pick up again. It's kind of like with the lectionary readings. Don't go back and try to make up for lost time. Just start on that day where you're at that day and continue on and just keep with it.
Yep, I think give kids grace, right? But have expectations for them too. It's always that kind of tension of you don't want to make it miserable for them, but also you need to expect them to sit in the chair, and not be running all over and doing everything else. But for little kids, give them Cheerios or give them, do things that will kind of help them along the way. And the smaller you start, the easier it is to continue it probably. And then you'll feel when it becomes a rhythm and easier and you can start kind of adding things to it.